I don't know whether you've heard about Delta and Celta uh,
Yeah.
certificates, and how important for us are the how important are these awards for us as English language educators? Um how Celta is important for us in terms of English language teaching accreditation on the um, national, international level. This is number one. Number two, given that you are in Boston and Harvard University is also in Boston, I'd like to ask a question. How, I don't know whether you visited the Harvard main campus or not, and how different is Harvard from other US educational institutions?
These are interesting questions. I think the first question I feel pretty comfortable answering because I was actually a TEFL trainer for a long time before I went into academia. I wasn't in CELTA, but I was in the American equivalent. So CELTA and Delta are based out of England, and they are really wonderful programs. They're great programs, and they help people to be recognized to teach English as a foreign language around the world. And I think whether or not you need them depends a lot on your training already and what you want to do with your career. So if you already have, say, a bachelor's degree, a master's
So,
degree, or a PhD
so is
in,
there a US equivalent award
so
that is equivalent to the Celta and Delta that which are UK? But,
there's there's not exactly an equivalent because Celta and Delta have a very good reputation because I think they were founded by I think it's Oxford University, but it might be
No, it's
Cambridge.
Cambridge.
oh it's
Cambridge.
oh right, of
I
course.
got I got a CELTA already.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
And how was that experience?
Well, it was wonderful. I got it from Istanbul, and I can answer that question for Mohammed if it's really
Beautiful.
necessary or
Thank you
not.
so much.
Yeah. Well, my goal is I want to be an international teacher or trainer. So our certificates in Iraq cannot help me achieve that goal outside Iraq. So I need an international certificate. And when I Googled, I found that CELTA and Delta are the appropriate certificates that I can use around the world. I think it's about maybe 200 countries that recognize that certificate. So this is why I went for, and then everybody there was so, surprised. You got a master's degree and your English is really good and you are a teacher trainer already. Why do you want the certificate for? So I said, well, because I'm thinking to leave Iraq and work outside. So that was my goal. And then, the pandemic happened and all of this. But yeah, it's really a good experience. I
So haven't
highly
you?
recommend.
Did you receive it?
Oh yeah, sure.
Beautiful.
Yeah. And it's really a good experience, by the way. It's intensive information. You have a lot of information that you already know, new information, update information, and all. You meet a lot of people, wonderful people from around the world. And that's the most important thing out of it. You meet different cultures because,
Because the duration.
well, I took the one month,
Yes.
intensive course. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you so
So
much for sharing that experience,
Thank you.
Wafa. It's yeah, if you have the time and the money doing Delta or Delta
That's right. Yeah.
or
It's time
Telta,
and money. Yeah.
yeah, it does take
And it depends
time.
on the goal. I mean, I don't really recommend it to anybody who's not thinking the way I think, because our master degree, PhD degree, if you have it, you're fine. I mean, you don't need the CELTA and Delta. You don't need to waste your money and time on it.
Right, exactly. But they are recognized around the world.
That's true.
So
Yeah.
I don't know what the
international
status
certified.
is. Well, I don't know what the status is necessarily of your individual degrees or master's, PhD, bachelor. Usually in the US, if you have a master's degree or a PhD with a focus on language teaching, you don't really need to go get the CELTA. If you have a degree that is a bachelor's degree or might not be recognized worldwide, then the CELTA can give you an edge. And it is typically a wonderful experience, but it's costly both in time and money.
That's true.
Yeah.
Wafa, how much did it cost you to have the CELTA?
Oh, I think it's, I don't really remember.
You
but-
can Google that really easily.
Yeah, it's on Google. Yeah, you can find
Mhm.
it. If you're
Yeah.
looking for Istanbul centers, there are so many, by the way, in Turkey. I chose Istanbul because it's, it's
1,000, I
nearest-
think, 1,500 USD?
600, I think 1,600, I think,
Oh.
something like that.
Okay.
And then to answer your question about Harvard, Harvard has a beautiful campus. It's a member of what's called the Ivy League, which are, I think, 7 very prestigious schools in the United States. It has a wonderful reputation. Other schools are often compared to it. So you'll say, oh, the University of Georgia is the Harvard of the South. So it's kind of the gold standard to compare other schools
model.
to. Hmm?
It's a model.
It's a model, yes. Yeah. But
So
it
you
has
visit
its
anytime?
its issues. Harvard has been critiqued for being kind of
So you live you live in a city where Harvard is situated, right?
I lived there for a long time, but I live in Georgia now.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, I live in Georgia now, but I did live in Massachusetts for a long time in Boston. Yeah, if you have the opportunity to visit, it's a beautiful campus. But anyway, thank you for your question. I think we should probably move on because
Thank
today
you.
I have a big project scheduled for you. I'm not going to talk at you as much as I normally do. But I am going to briefly share the screen just so we have an idea of what it is we are doing today. Oh, wait. No, don't wait. I'll share the screen and then we can figure this out. So when I share my screen with you, I share just a portion of the screen so that I can then read my notes as we're going. So our objectives today are to engage in a critique of student-centered activities for TESOL instruction using Google Slides so that next week you or they could share and critique their own approaches and techniques. So Ahmed, I think, will be happy because next week we're going to take his suggestion and we're going to look at your own online syllabi, activities, approaches, techniques, and you're going to share them with one another and engage in a constructive critique. But first, you're going to critique my syllabus. So to begin, I need 1 or 2 volunteer assistants. So who would be willing to help me monitor the Zoom chat and the WhatsApp group today?
Okay, Kathleen, allow me to help you with the WhatsApp group.
Okay, who said that?
Wafa.
Okay, Wafa is on WhatsApp.
And I can do the Zoom.
And Adnan can do the Zoom. I saw Hozan raise a hand. Did you want to volunteer as well?
Yeah, I wanted, but it's fine.
Okay.
My colleagues did.
Okay.
For the next time, hopefully.
Perfect. Thank you. You
Yeah.
can do that next week.
Yeah,
for
sure.
me. I'm putting down your name. So Wafa and
Thank you.
Adnan. Adnan, you're going to do the, are you doing Zoom or WhatsApp? I don't remember.
I'm doing Zoom. So I'm watching out the chat box, right?
Mhm. Exactly.
On Zoom to see whether there are questions or, okay.
Great. And then Wafa, you're going to monitor the WhatsApp group for me.
Yes.
I'm hoping we don't have a lot of technical difficulties today, but we'll see because we're going to use an awful lot of different platforms. So it might get a little bit messy. So I'm going to give you a brief overview of my own syllabus, or one of them, and timeline. And then I'm going to ask you to sign up for groups, and then collaborating in Google Slides, you are going to complete a jigsaw activity, which I'll explain in a second, and deconstruct or examine, explore, analyze my syllabus and some of its student-centered activities. So collaboratively in a group, and then you're going to present what you found to the other groups. And then I'm going to give you homework. So this is the one time so far that I'm going to ask you to please, between now and next week, you are going to create your own Google slide presentation with your own approaches to online instruction from your own classes. And I'd like that to be completed before we meet next Friday so that we can, in groups, conduct a constructive critique of your online approaches. Now, if you're not already teaching, we'll have to talk. So tell me at the end if you're not already teaching and I'll adapt the assignment for you. If you're really, really busy and can't do it, it's not the end of the world, but I would love it if everybody did, because I think that way you will not only be able to receive some constructive criticism and talk with your colleagues about how you're approaching online instruction, but you'll also be able to provide your colleagues with some wonderful ideas that work in your context. So I'm going to skip this. I have in our Google Classroom an example of my syllabus today, and I'll talk about that later in a second. The activity that we're going to do today is a classic communicative activity. And I just want to talk kind of briefly about what communicative approaches are meant for. So they were designed for language teaching, right? So if you have students who want to learn how to speak English or Japanese or Spanish, the communicative approach is an approach that's a student-centered approach meant to engage your students in producing meaningful language. It's not really an approach for teaching, say, microbiology or phonetics or second language acquisition. But that doesn't mean that teaching these more scientific topics can't have student-centered elements as well. And so some of these activities can be transferred to other contexts. For example, the activity we'll conduct today, which is a jigsaw activity. I'm not sure, I should have put a picture of a jigsaw puzzle in here. I'm not sure if you're familiar with those, you know, they're the puzzles where you have a big image and you work together to put the image together over time.
Yeah, we know that. Yeah.
All right, great. What do you call it in Arabic?
Well, I don't know.
That's a difficult question.
Oh, is it?
Really have that game a lot.
But you know what I mean, right?
Yeah,
Sure, we do.
Sure.
Okay, cool. So that's a jigsaw, you know.
In Kurdish say yari waraqa.
Yari
Waraqa.
waraka.
Paper. Is that right?
Perfect. I have no idea, but I believe you. So
In Kurdish say yari waraqa.
So we're going to do yari waraka.
Waraqa. It means play the paper. In
Yeah.
translation.
That sounds wonderful. So we're going to play with paper. And the idea behind a jigsaw puzzle, right, when you play with your family or your friends, is you have all these different pieces of information in different places, and then they come together to make a whole image or piece of information. In a communicative jigsaw activity, different students or different groups of students have different pieces of information, and then they have to communicate together to get the whole piece of information. So I'm going to divide you into groups and give you each one assignment from one of my online courses. And your job is not to do the assignment. Your job is, as professors or PhD students or language teachers and educators yourselves, scholars, to critique the assignment together. And I'll explain that a little bit more in a second, but first I'm going to stop sharing this screen and we are going to go over into Google Classroom. Is everybody already signed in to Google Classroom?
Yes.
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 On it.
It's okay. It's okay.
Anybody having problems signing in? Okay.
Sorry today I come late because I have exam with my student.
That's okay. Thank you for coming. I appreciate it very much. So, all right. So sign into Google Classroom. And I'm going to share my screen again. Basic. Yeah. Okay. All right. There are some new things in our classroom that weren't here yesterday. The first thing that I want to talk about, and I'll revisit at the end, is the homework. This is where you're going to post your own materials at the end of this week. So before we meet next Friday, you're going to post your own little presentation here in a comment. So, hi, this is my presentation. And you'll put the link there. I'll explain that more at the end, but I want to mention it at the beginning in case anybody loses internet, just so we know it's there. Now, March 26th and 27th, that's yesterday and today, is right below it. And the first thing you see here are my example syllabi. The next thing you see is our Google Sheet sign up. And we'll sign up in just a second. But first I'm going to go into the sample syllabi. So the syllabus that I'm sharing with you today is from a course that I taught at the University of Georgia in 2019. So I've given you the whole syllabus. It's for undergraduate students at the University of Georgia who are learning in the TESOL and World Language Education program. And that's a required course for any students who are getting their ESOL endorsement or certificates. So anyone who wants to teach ESOL in the public school or abroad from UGA has to take this course. This course is an asynchronous course, so we never met face-to-face. And the goals of the course are to describe how socio-cultural theories of language, culture, and literacy support our understanding of critical multi-language education and how to teach within it, to critique discrimination informed by socio-cultural factors, to see connections between these structures and to apply them in teaching, etc. So to summarize, the goals of this course are to engage the undergraduate students who are pretty young, right? They're like 18, 19, in thinking about how their own culture affects their practice in the classroom and how factors like racism and discrimination come to play in the American school system, particularly when teaching language learners and immigrant language learners who are often discriminated against in the United States. So in this course, we worked off of two books, Scaffolding Language, Scaffolding Learning by Pauline Gibbons, and a graphic novel by Will Eisner, who was one of the original illustrators for Walt Disney. But he made a nice comic book about immigration in New York City. And in this comic book, he illustrates how one neighborhood in New York City changed over, I think, a century with different waves of immigration. So we tied this in both to studying immigration in the US and to studying multimodal approaches to teaching. The other thing in this folder is the course timeline. So in addition to giving the students a syllabus, I give them this timeline that breaks down in each module, which corresponds to 1 week, what's the topic, what readings do they have to complete, and what assignments are due and when are they due. So if you come down, that Dropsy Avenue graphic novel corresponds to multilingual, multimodal, oh wait, no, does it? No, hold on, sorry. Yeah, it does. I'm so sorry. I thought I had another module called new literacies, but this talks about new literacies. So multimodality teaching with video, audio, graphic, Facebook, the internet, so expanding our notions of literacy. So I'm giving you just a brief overview. I wish it was briefer. I'm sorry, I talked for too long. Of the syllabus, because that's the course and syllabus that you are going to work on for the group activity. So what I would like everyone to do right now is in your own Google Classroom, you're going to sign up for March 27th. So you're going to click here. And then you are going to click here. Oh, wonderful. And you've already done it. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen. Can everyone take like 3 minutes and sign up for one group? There are 6 groups. Oops, I deleted the title. Try not to write over what other people have entered. I think that was the problem we had the last time we tried to sign up in Google Sheets, but we can fix it if it happens again. You're going to put your name and your email.
Sorry for the interruption,
Mhm.
but Him sent a message in the WhatsApp group saying that she cannot review the file.
Uh-oh. That's problematic for 2 reasons. So, Hayam, I think that might have to do with internet connectivity. And thank you for sharing the screenshot in the WhatsApp, because that is very helpful. If you can't preview the file, I can write your name in for you, but I have a feeling that this error message has to do with internet connectivity issues. So, Hayam, I'm going to sign you up for group 2. Okay. Adnan,
Just a question. Group 5 and 6 are not named. Does that mean that we cannot write our names there?
oh no, please write your names there. I'm so sorry. I deleted those last night because I changed the name, but then I got distracted and I never entered
Alright.
the new name.
Okay.
So I'm going to write the new name in there. What is it? Oh, that's not correct. Hold on.
Excuse me, did I take somebody's place by mistake, or I'm under group 5 for student 4? I'm just checking.
No, I think you're good. That's good.
Okay, great. Thank you, Kathleen.
Mm-hmm. There you go. I'm giving these a title.
Well, I wonder where you put my name.
So you have to put your name in.
Well, I already put it, by the way, before the session. I put it, I mean, number 1. If you can check my name and my Gmail.
I don't think
Here.
I don't think you could have put it before the session because I didn't release this until our course started at 3 p.m. There's a different sign up sheet and you may have put it in there. But what I'm going to do is, who am I talking to? Is that Ahmed?
Yeah.
Ahmed, I'm going to move you to group 3 because, and what's your last name, Ahmed?
Ahmed Hamza. Ahmed A. Hamza.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm moving you to group 3
Is it-
because
is-
group 3 doesn't have
Okay. It's okay.
anybody. I'm gonna
Never
change
mind.
this. I didn't count
Excuse
correctly.
me. Yeah, I was just about to mention that student 3 is not available in the table.
Yeah, sorry about that. There's student 3. Okay, so I'm gonna just quickly compare who we have here to, we've got Ahmed. Is anyone now not signed up? Ban, are you signed up? Oh yeah, you are. Group 5. Hakan,
Actually, I have written my name in group 5,
perfect.
but it is deleted. I don't know why. Someone deleted. It's
Okay.
okay. I will choose another one.
No, you're there. I see you.
Group 5,
Yeah, you're there in group 5.
Hossein Gomar.
Oh no, you're
No.
not there. Someone did delete it. I think they wrote over it. That's okay.
Ahmed
okay.
Hamza, Catherine, Ahmed Hamza, right? Then but out of the table
Out
in
of
the
the
last corner,
where?
in the number 1 in the sheet.
Oh, Ahmed, I see. I see.
Yes, I told you earlier, by the way. I told you earlier, but you didn't recognize this. I told you earlier, remember? I told you earlier, before this session, I did it. And
I
said
don't
it
know how
is-
you did that though, because you shouldn't have had permission to do
Well,
that before. You
anyway,
should-
is that just to tell who I mean did this before? I mean, is it not allowed for me just to do it?
Well, I mean, I would prefer.
Well, I went through this before this session just to check because I found an assignment and then I signed up and then I put my name. So is it not allowed just to do it before this session?
So that's interesting. Normally I would say, yes, you're welcome to do that. You're encouraged to explore. For this particular one, because last time we had so much trouble signing up on a Google Sheet, I wanted to wait for everybody to do it together. And I see you signed up in the left-hand corner instead of inside a group itself. So
because I found you see an instruction just to write it in this cell. I mean in the yellow cell. Just write the name and the Gmail. This is before this session. I found an instruction just to tell me to write in this cell, not inside the group, and that's why I did it this way.
Okay, well, thank you for explaining. I think I'm not sure what you found. This activity, I think this was my mistake, perhaps, but this activity.
Well, I found it as a message in my Gmail. You see, opened the message, and then I found this assignment. I signed up, and I did it. This is what happened.
Yeah, so I think when you get your Gmail, when I change things in Google Class, you get notifications in your Gmail. Yeah, but this wasn't intended to be open. And normally the teacher can control that. So I must have accidentally hit the wrong setting.
I don't know that, by the way. I have my own justification.
Yeah, that's okay. That's okay. All right. So what I'm going to do right now is please stop editing the sheet. Don't edit the sheet anymore. Okay. No more changes to the sheet.
I
And
see my name and somebody keeps,
I know that's why
deleting
I don't want anybody to change the sheet anymore because I think
then he groups me.
yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Kathy,
I don't know. I'm going to write my name in the sheet, or I will.
No, right now, no one write in the sheet anymore.
Okay.
No
Okay,
one
I'm
write in the
already-
sheet. I'm gonna go through and make sure everyone's name is there.
Okay,
So
already I
I'm
did
gonna
it.
so I'm gonna call your names. Okay, no more writing in the sheet.
Okay, okay, right.
All right. So Hozan, did you sign up?
Yes, I did.
Okay, is your
First
name in
group.
the correct place?
Yes, yes.
Great. Jian, did you sign up? No. Okay. I'm gonna put you in group 4. So Jian, you are now in group 4. Hussein Gumar, are you in a group now?
Yes, in group 4.
Awesome.
Hussein Gomar.
Thank you. Allah, are you in a group now?
Yeah, and in group 6.
Great. Wafa, are you in a group now?
Yes, I'm in group 5.
Okay, great.
There are 2 of us, so you need to make sure which one.
Oh no, all right, hold on. Wafa Altamimi, you're in group 5.
Yes.
Other Wafa, what is your last name?
Wafa Shakir.
Takir, how do you spell it?
A-I-R.
P-A-Q-I-R?
A-I-R.
I'm going to ask you to type that in the chat and tell me, did you sign up for the group, or is your name in a group right now, or was it deleted?
It was deleted. I signed in group 2 for student 4, and then it was deleted by somebody, and then now it's.
Okay, I'm going to write your name, Wafa, in group 4. All right, so Wafa, you're in group 4 now. And can you put your last name in the chat for me so that I can fix that? All right, I think Amani, did you sign up?
Yes, I did. I'm in group 2.
That's correct. Great. Hayam, I know you're having internet.
Group 2.
Oh, great. Yeah, you're in group 2.
I'm in group 2, yeah.
Sadiq?
Yes, I've signed group 1.
Okay. Mahmoud?
Yes, I'm in group 1.
Great. Let's see. Ines? I see Ines is in group 6.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, Catherine, group 6.
All right. So has anyone not been able to sign up for a group? Is anyone's name not in a group
Yes,
right
me,
now?
Ahmed Fahid. I am not in a group right now.
Ahmed Fahid. All right, because
Mr. Ahmed, you
Yes,
are in group
me
3.
too.
In group 3.
yeah.
Kathleen, what about me?
I think I'm not signing. I mean,
Oh, well, your name is there, so that's good for now. So Ahmed Fahid and Ahmed Hamza, you're both in group 3. And then who said, what about me? Was that Maria?
Yes, Allah.
Allah.
Yes.
Allah. I don't. You're in group 6. Are you Allah Abdul Azim?
No. Allah Sadun.
Okay, so I don't see you in a group. So I am going to put you in group 4.
Okay.
Excuse me, Kathleen. Wafa Shakir sent her name into the chat box, so just to check.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Wafa Shakir. Okay. And Allah, what was your last name?
Sadun. S-A-D-O-O-N. Sadun.
Okay, perfect. So everyone knows their group right now. I think we should take a 5-minute break right now. And when we come back, you're going to go work in your groups. I will give you instructions. You're going to go work in your groups for a little bit. You're going to come back and you're going to present your critique of my instructional approaches online to the rest of the attendees. So don't do anything. Ahmed Hamza, don't do anything
Yes.
during the break. Okay.
Do you think that I'm naughty today?
No.
What do you
But
think?
but don't work ahead right now. So you have don't
No, it's
type in the
okay. It's
slides.
okay.
Everybody get a nice cup of coffee, take 5 minutes, have a break, and I will see you back here at 3:45 to do the group activity.
That's well.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, welcome back. So during the break, I have assigned you to breakout groups, but I am not going to open them just yet. I see a question in WhatsApp, and I will talk about that a little bit later. Thank you for the question about creating groups. For now, I am going to tell you how to access your group. So, all right. Let's say, for example, that you're in group 2. If you look on the left, each person in that group has a role. So student 1 reports back to the whole group at the end. So you're going to do the speaking at the end. Student 2 will take notes for the presentation. Student 3 is responsible for communicating to me in WhatsApp. And student 4, if there are 4 people in the group, will report back with student 1. So student 4 and student 1 can take turns. Wafa Altamimi, I'm going to move you up here to number 1, and you're going to assume the role of reporting back for your group at the end. Now, if you have technical difficulties, that's okay. You can rely on your group to help you. So if your microphone cuts out, you might want to have a second person in your group ready to do the explaining. So there are 6 groups, and together you're going to analyze 3 different assignments from the online course that I've shared with you in today's classwork. If you click at the very bottom of your group, it will open a link to your slideshow. So can everyone please take a moment and click on the link to access your slideshow? Let me know if you have any problems opening the slideshow. So I'm going to wait just a couple of minutes. Wafa and Adnan, can you tell me if anyone is messaging about issues getting into the slideshow?
Not yet.
Sure, of course.
Great.
Okay. No, nobody so far.
Okay. And you want to make sure you click on the correct one. So I clicked on group 1 as an example, but if you click on group 2, it takes you to a different slideshow. Okay. In group 3. Okay. So when you're in your slideshow, group 6, let me just go into group 5 because I think I may have put the wrong name there. Yeah, sorry, that's the wrong assignment. Okay, so if you look at the second slide, you have the instructions for this assignment. You're going to read the example syllabus and timeline that I provided. That's in classwork. So if you come back over to the Google Classroom, March 26th, and you go to classwork, March 26th and 27th, you come down to asynchronous syllabi and timelines. And here you can open for yourself the timeline and syllabus. Now, don't read the whole thing. The syllabus is extremely long. Just skim and scan to get a general idea. After everyone has had a moment to look at the timeline and syllabus, you're going to move on to instruction 2. So on the slides that follow, I include instructions and examples for one of the assignments in an online course for undergraduates on language and culture in the classroom. With your group, you're going to explore the materials, instructions, and examples with a critical eye, and then summarize what you found for the rest of the group. This presentation summary should include a description of the assignment and its guidelines. This is when we come back, because this is a jigsaw. Each person or each group has a different piece of information. You're going to briefly describe, okay, what was the assignment that you looked at? Then, how was the assignment evaluated, if that was clear? Then you're going to provide at least one positive critique. So how does this underscore, how is it an example of student-centered teaching? Then at least one constructive criticism. So that's something that you can say, oh, I didn't like this, or I would improve this in this way, or I don't think this was very effective in this way. So what could be improved? You're going to provide at least one critique. And then you're going to provide at least one adaptation. So how might this activity be adapted to your own teaching context? You're probably not teaching exactly the same course that I'm teaching, but but how might you adapt it? So as a group, when you go off in a second, you're going to look over the syllabus, and then you're going to go through the slides. I have copied from the syllabus the directions for each assignment. And then I have given some links or examples of student works. So for example, in group 6, if you copy that, whoops, and you can copy it by highlighting it and pressing Command C, coming up here. This will take you to another place where you can see examples. So several of these presentations have links within them. So together you're going to read, discuss, and then at the end of the slideshow, in slides 7 and 8, I have a place for you to take notes. So in the sign-up sheet, student 2, did we lose somebody from group 3? I think we did. Hold on. Group 3, Hamid Hussein. Ahmed
Fahid, I think.
Yeah. Ahmed Fahid, I'm putting you as student 2. So you're going to take the notes at the end of the slides. So I've shared these slides so that you can all edit. So down here, you can press enter.
Where exactly I should I write down?
In your Google slideshow. So when you follow this link, and you go to the end, so you can go to the end by scrolling down, selecting slide 8. It says take notes here.
It's not working. I click it more than one time.
It's not, when you say it's not working, do you mean, hold on. Do you mean that you can't open?
Well, yeah, it's not open when I click it. It's already that's appear, I mean.
Are you signed in with your Google account?
My Google account, yes.
Interesting. Okay. Another way to access the slideshows is to come back to the classroom. And then, so if you go to classwork, come down to March 26th and 27th.
1 minute, please.
Excuse me, Kathleen, we have him also say in the WhatsApp group that the slides that shown on her screen are completely empty.
I think Hayam is having connectivity issues. It's my guess that her slides are still loading. So she can try waiting just a little bit.
I had the same issue. It was the internet, and then it loaded and it appeared. Yeah.
Yeah, I think if she waits a little bit, those slides will load. If they're not opening, that's strange, but here's another way to find them. March 26th and 27th, if you come down here, these are the slideshows for groups 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So when I click here, you can open your slideshow. So Ahmed Fahid, have you been able to open these yet?
Just wanted to let it down because the internet is not stable. That's why the problem.
I see. So right now, let me make a list. We have Ahmed Fahid hasn't been able to open them. Hayam's are still loading. Is anyone else unable to open their slideshow?
Let's open.
Okay. So Ahmed Fahid and Hayam, I'm going to email you the slides.
It's okay. Just 1 minute. 1 minute. Then it will be easy to.
Okay.
Down this one. I think it will come easily.
Yeah.
It's okay right now.
Great.
Group 1, group 2, group 3.
And you are in group 3.
3. I am group 3.
Mhm.
Slideshow. But it is still not download the others.
Yeah, so I think that has to do with connectivity. So
Down. It's come right now.
Great.
Group 1 instruction.
So what I'm going to ask you to do is when you're in the slideshow, to prevent problems with internet connectivity, you can download this to your desktop. So after it opens, if you go to File, you can click Download, and then you can download it as a PDF or as a PowerPoint, and it will open on your desktop, and then you'll have this regardless of how well your internet works. Is anyone having issues? Ahmed Fahid, are you in?
Yeah, I do it as a PDF download.
Okay, great, great.
I'm also still waiting to download again.
That's okay, that's okay. So I think we're gonna move on. I'm gonna email you. I'm gonna email you and Hayam PDF versions of your slideshows. If you can't access them, you're gonna have to participate by listening with your group.
It's okay then. Right now.
Down here.
Yes.
I have a question.
Wait 1 second, Mahmoud. Ahmed Hamza, can you in group 3, can you take over and take notes for the presentation for Ahmed Fahid since he's having connectivity issues?
It's okay. It's okay. I mean, to exchange roles, you mean?
Yeah, to exchange.
No, I may do. I mean, double jobs. If we say, I'm going to take notes and then I'm going to report back for the whole group. It's
yeah,
okay.
or maybe you can share with Ahmed Fahid and you can take notes and you can.
We are going to cooperate, by the way. I can do these things. I mean, I can inform him orally what is written, and we are going to discuss these all together. It's okay.
Thank you. Okay, Mahmoud, you had a question.
I have a question about the students that you are teaching this course. Okay, those who took this course, were they just American or foreign?
That's a great question. So this is a course for undergraduates at the University of Georgia, and most of them were American students, but some of them were international students as well. Okay. Any other questions? Okay. So
yes, please, Kathleen. Can I have a question, please?
Yes, Sadiq.
Yeah. Since we have an example of the curriculum, of your curriculum, why do you include some slides and for each group? I mean, you have some sections.
That's a great question, actually. I'm going to explain the rationale because that might influence how you organize your own presentations next week. I have too many windows open. Hold on. I would like to share my screen again. Share screen. Okay. Let's look at group 3. All right. So I shared the syllabus with you, right? But if you scroll down, see here I'm in group 3. Whoops. That's in the wrong place. Okay. This is an example of students' work. And over here, this is a link to their writing. That's not in the syllabus, right? So this is what my students created in the class. And if you look down here, for instance, this is one of their discussion posts. It's a response from one of my students that I took a screenshot of and pasted into this presentation. Now, I can't just share my screen and show you the course because it would give you all of my students' names. And that's actually against the university policy and the law here. So I took screenshots and blacked out their samples. So although some of the things, like on slide 3, this repeats what's in the syllabus, the rest are taken from the actual online course as examples of students' work. Yes, Maria, you had a question?
Oh yes, just about the practice itself, about the activity. Are we going to read the syllabus and the timeline, language and cultural, those all of them together, all of it?
Yeah, it's a good question. Originally, I thought yes. And I thought I would give you like 5 minutes to do that before we broke into groups, but I'm a little concerned about time now. So I'm going to alter this instruction. Don't read the syllabus and timeline slowly. The syllabus is like 20 pages long. It'll take 20 minutes for you to read. So just look at it, like skim, scan, read a little bit, but then focus on the slideshow. So don't spend more than 5 minutes looking at the syllabus and timeline. And then focus on, okay, the actual examples in your slideshows themselves.
Okay, thank you.
Great questions. 1 or 2 more questions? Sadiq?
Yes, Kathleen. I mean, do we need to qualify the student's response in relation to the syllabus?
So in the instructions, so, I mean, I think that's a great idea. I'm not sure if you'll have time, but you can. So what you need to do is explain to the other groups, you know, what did you see in your slideshow?
Okay.
How was the assignment evaluated? What do you think worked? What didn't work? And how might you adapt it? So maybe a critique could be, I don't think this student's response matched, you know, the syllabus goals. That would be a good critique, or I do think it matched. But I'm going to leave that open to you.
Okay, I see.
If there are no
Excuse
more...
me, Kathleen.
Yes?
Sorry, Ban says that she cannot open the link.
Ban. I will email you the link, Ban. Hayam, was Hayam able to open the link yet? No? Okay. If you haven't been able to open the link for now, you're going to have to rely on your group members to tell you about the link. I'm going to send you off into the breakout groups.
Kathleen, she says she cannot.
Excuse me, thank you. Hayam cannot?
Yes,
Yeah.
she has a very bad poor internet connection.
Even I can't download it.
Yeah, that's... So if you have a bad...
I'm really sorry.
No, that's okay. That's okay. If you have a bad internet connection, that's okay. You can look at it later. You're in a group, so your group members can tell you about what they see. Okay.
All right. All right.
In the meantime, I will email it to you as a PDF, and that may be easier to open as a PDF. So I'm going to send you an email in a second, but I think we should start the activity to make sure we have time. So I am going to give you 20 to 25 minutes to work in your groups. And I'm going to check in with you to see if you need more time at the end. Don't forget, one of your roles is to WhatsApp with me if you have problems.
Well, let us make it 30 minutes, by the way, because I believe that the activity needs time. I mean, for writing notes and for evaluation. So we cannot do it with the 20 minutes. I believe 30 minutes will work.
All right. I'm going to check in with you at 25 minutes and see how you're doing. And if we're done, we'll come back together. But if you need more time, you know, when I give time limits, I almost never really mean them. They're a general guide. So I'm going to check in with you guys at 25 minutes. If you need more time, that's totally fine. Ahmed?
Sorry, dear Dr. Kathleen, before we go out to the breakout rooms, since I believe I am the first student in my group in the Google Slides, the assignment, and I believe it takes about 30 minutes. So 30 minutes from now, I have to prepare myself and go to the university because I have online classes at 5. So I believe I need about 10 to 15 minutes to arrive to the university. So I don't know, we either have to change the roles or I'm not, unfortunately, I cannot respond to the assignment by that time.
Thank you so much for telling me that. That's very responsible of you. I'm going to let you talk about that with your group and ask one of your group members to report back instead of you. So thank you. I will let you discuss that in your group. But for now, I'm going to put you in your groups so that we make sure to both have time to do the activity and report back on the activity. Now, please know that there are 6 groups and 3 activities that you're examining. So like each activity has 2 groups reporting on it. So your presentations shouldn't take very long. And I think I'm going to have to reduce the time maybe to like a 5-minute presentation or even a 3-minute presentation of what you saw. So I'm opening the groups and then I will email Ahmed, Haim, and Ban the slideshows. If they still can't see them, groups, please help your group members by explaining to them what you're seeing. All right.
Thank you. I open it.
Oh, great. All right. Your breakout groups are open. Goodbye. Okay, Sadiq and
Yes, Kathleen.
Hamid, did you not receive your invitation?
No, not yet.
Kathleen, I received my invitation, but my because of power cut, my mobile went off, like it's turned off. I don't know how to go to my group on my computer. I'm afraid that I lose connection because of the power cut.
You know what? Actually, this is amazingly perfect because the Sadiq and Hamid, you are in the same group. So I'm gonna just let you stay here and work together in the main breakout group. Okay, so you can all just stay here and work together.
Well,
I'm gonna.
I was in group 3, Kathleen.
You were really?
Yeah.
Let me look.
With Ahmed and both Ahmeds.
Oh, Ahmed, and Hamid. This is strange. Okay, I'm sorry. That's Ahmed, Hamid. Okay, never mind. I'm gonna assign you to group 3.
Okay.
Okay, there you go. It should have opened. And Sadiq, what group are you in? Number 1, right?
Group 1, yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna assign you. It should have opened. Were you able to join?
Yeah, I've got them. Yeah, yeah. Yeah.
Allah, what happened with you?
Yes, the internet, bad connection with the internet.
Okay, I'm sending you off to your group again. You should be able to accept.
Yes, okay.
Thank you.
Kathy, sorry, do we have a group chat or what? Because in the group, but still I can't hear them.
You can't hear them. Can you see them?
No, no.
Oh, hold on. All right. I think maybe we had a little technical problem. What group are you in? Do you remember?
4.
Group 4. Okay. I'm so sorry about that.
That's okay.
Okay, I think your group opened. And are you able to join now?
Oh, I see.
And in our group as well. There, Kathleen is. Hello, Kathleen.
Hello. What's the problem? Thank you for inviting me
We-
to your group.
Okay, welcome. Oh, so we don't understand actually what to do
You know,
here.
Okay.
That's
That's
Okay.
okay.
we find difficulty understanding the task that we are supposed to assume. I have not digested the whole thing that you wanted us to do, you know. So it's truly appreciated if you just help us digest the tasks that we should perform.
Sure. Okay. So do you all have access to your Google slideshow?
Yes, Google, and we are now looking at the at your syllabus.
Okay.
Syllabus
So,
that is with title, language, and culture in the classroom.
Yes,
Is it right?
yes, Mr. Mahmoud.
yeah,
Muhammad.
perfect.
Yes.
Perfect. So great. Stop looking at the syllabus and come back to the slideshow.
Okay, our group. Okay.
Group 6.
Okay, so
Yes.
please read the example syllabus and time provided.
Yeah, don't spend too much time on that. Just look at it. So you looked at it. Great. That one is
Okay.
number done. That one's done.
All right.
So now you're going to look at the slides in the slideshow. These
Yes.
present examples of the students' work. Whoops.
So slide number 3.
Slide number 3.
Hold on.
In the Google Classroom?
Yes. No, in our group work.
Yeah, in your slideshow. So in your slideshow, can you advance from slide number 1 to slide number 2?
Oh, can I ask you something? Can I share only for my group something? Here? Is it possible? Like share screen for them?
So I don't know. Actually, that's a great question. I think, unfortunately, it's not possible for you as a, well, hold on. Maybe I can make you, wait, hold on. I'll have to make you a co-host. But I can't make you a co-host in a breakout room. I'm sorry.
Okay,
so I am in my slideshow. Which one should I do? I am in the slideshow.
So I can share my screen with you because I have the host abilities.
Okay.
Meeting.
Yeah, okay.
So you're in group 6, and then Mohammed, if you press the down arrow, you see this?
Yes, instructions.
And you press the down arrow again?
Yes.
Okay. This is really where your work begins. You're going to read this slide, this slide.
Yes.
And then you're going to look at this link.
Yes.
Okay.
So you're going to copy it and paste it.
Yes.
And you're going to just examine. So this is a template, right? This is the guideline for the students. Oops, I lost your slide.
Yeah.
This is a guideline. This is all materials that I gave to students during this course. So your job is to read the materials, look at them, discuss them.
Read your syllabi.
Not the syllabi, all the materials in these slides, okay?
Oh, I see.
So the students' actual example work. So down here, this is an example. And together you're going to create to present to the other people when the group ends. What did you see? What was the activity? How did it promote student-centered teaching? So down here,
So your syllabi has little to do with this file, right?
The syllabi is it does have something to do with it. Yeah, the syllabus there is the guide for the entire course. So that has everything for the whole course. In this slideshow, I've taken one of the assignments, so a small part of what's explained in the syllabi, and given you examples.
Understood.
So you're going to look at these examples and focus on these things that I'm turning yellow here. So what's good about it, what could be improved about it? And how could you adapt this to your own teaching context? So you're going to discuss this and prepare to tell the other people what you learned, because they're all looking at different assignments. Does that make sense?
Yes, that makes sense. Yes.
Yes, for me too. And for something else, Mrs. Ala is not responding.
Could we exchange role with Mari, and Mari could report back to the other group?
Yes, that's no problem.
Okay, it's fine.
That's no problem. Are you missing someone from your group, Maria?
Yeah, Ala Abdul Adim is not
Mari, could you
responding.
exchange roles?
Okay, that's not a problem.
Well, just work with the people who are here for now.
All right, great. Thank you.
All right. Please let me know if you have any other questions.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for coming here.
Thanks, Mari. Thanks, Kathleen.
Okay, Mr. Muhammad, let's start. So
we will discuss much further.
Hi, what happened to the rest?
I'm back. So Hadi has left, as you know, he has his own duties. And Amani was missing. I think she lost the internet connection or the Zoom connection. So I was all alone, hanging out that Zoom room.
Oh no. Were you able to open the slideshow when I sent it via email?
Still downloading it.
What?
I'm still downloading it.
Oh no. All right. I'm gonna send you off to another group. I think I'm gonna
actually we have a short discussion. I have a short discussion with Hadi, and we've talked about the assignment, and I've took some notes from him, and after that he left.
Okay. I think it would be better though, especially since you can't access the Google Slides, if I move you to another group that has access. So I'm gonna move you over to group 3, okay?
All right, I'm waiting.
Okay. 1 moment.
Actually, we are waiting.
Oh, hello. Is that your baby?
Yeah. Say hi.
Hello. Hi, what a cutie.
Thanks a lot.
So happy.
Okay. Actually, he's playing with my earpiece.
That's so sweet.
Thanks.
All right. I am going to I'm gonna put you in group. Let's see, what group would make the most sense? I think group 4. No, I think group 3 would make the most sense. I'm going to leave this room and I will be back in a second. Or you,
Okay.
I'll join you in
Okay.
group 3 in a second.
Okay.
Okay, so leave.
Group because my group was
Well,
vanished.
most welcome, most welcome.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot. So
Well,
I'm Ham.
Yeah, it's okay. Most welcome, Mrs. Yam. Well,
Thank you.
Very welcome to our group.
what we need just to what to
Hello,
check
Mr.
whether
Yam.
you have an idea about what we are doing just now.
So
Shall
I'm
we
just
inform
gonna,
you?
yeah, I'm gonna jump in and add, Hayam has had some technical difficulties and is unable to open the Google Slides, so you're gonna have to help her, okay?
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay.
All right.
It's okay.
Thank you, guys.
That's welcome.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Well,
Head of department on teachers.
Yes, yes,
Sometimes
sir.
we need
I'm asking about this
some of the
article.
students who maybe accept this syllabus or not. Sometimes we need some of the students take their opinion. If it is simple or difficult, we take a simple.
Hello, everybody.
Hi.
Hi.
How is it going? Are there any problems or issues here that I can help with?
Thank you. Now we discussed and make a critiques.
Great. Okay, perfect.
So you need to write these.
I'm sorry, Kathy. We are discussed some points like we said that it's okay for American society or whatever, but in Iraq we have totally different situations. Like our students are different. You have international students, we don't, and even we have
teachers,
syllabus, yeah,
students.
yes, teacher. We have like you have extra sources, we don't. We have to follow the ministry and the departments, the instructions, and we
Even
have
yes treatments,
yeah.
interactions between teachers,
Yes,
students,
even
students.
yes, even our teachers, maybe they are not
Except like this behavior.
yes, we
interactions.
yes, sometimes teachers are not able to give the lecture because they said, oh no, we don't have salary, so why do we explain the lecture, why do we give the lecture?
Yeah, so I think those are all really good critiques. Also try to find some positive points as well, and then consider what about this could you adapt? So maybe this wouldn't work in your context. What could you take and change so that you might take something and apply? So that all sounds perfect. And then to answer your questions about taking notes, so I think it's student 2, their job is to take notes in the last slide.
Jen, I have to write, yes.
Yeah, so you should take a couple of notes, and you can just take them on paper if you want to too, but just so that you remember, what you talk about when your group is presenting.
Yeah, it is very good for a group, small groups. Yeah, it's very, very perfect for if you have a small group of students. Yeah, but for the large number of students, it doesn't work with us. I think, in my university, because I have 127 students.
Whoa, that's a lot of students.
Yeah.
The same.
All of the universities have a similar number, by the way. We don't
So-
have
Yeah, in
small
I have
classes. In Iraq, we always
750
have large classes.
students.
Yeah, Kathy, you have to treat us
Yeah.
as a special case. You have to take us as a special case.
And so then do you, when you teach, do you teach synchronously or asynchronously?
For me, I prepared the presentation. I record. I'm explaining by recording and I add my audio to the presentation, and I post it in my classroom, and then I let them to ask if they have any question or not, and later on I will answer them. This is my. Yeah.
For me, the university obliged us to provide live lectures, so it is synchronously without a doubt.
Wow.
There is no need to provide video record or something, because I'm going to give it alive. And then there's a record for that lecture, so they can go back and listen to the lecture again and again.
Mama Sabi, it is not good. Sorry for criticizing you, but you know, even we in this group, we cannot attend the class because we have a bad network. For my
There's a
university, yeah,
Ms.
you
Nina,
have.
there's a record, and I have to provide them with the supplementary materials, with other resources. But the basic is that it is a live lecture. They
But
can.
sorry, but in my university, they oblige us to record our voice, and you have to explain the lecture, and then you post
The
in
same.
the classroom. Then in a week, you have to see the student face to face. You have to make them a group,
They
small
can come back
groups.
to
Yeah,
watch these
yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to
Yes.
interrupt here for just a second.
For me, I have used both of them.
Hussein,
For me, I have used both of them.
hold on.
Me too.
This is all very, very good information, but we're not on task to complete the project. So I'm going to ask you to return back to the project, and then next week, this is exactly what you're going to do next week. You're going to share, this is what I do. Oh, well, this is good about this, and maybe you could try this differently. The one thing I will add is you are all in different institutions and you might have different requirements. So it sounds like maybe Wafa is teaching to the requirements of her institution. But those are great points. But for now, come back to the project. I'm only going to give you about 5 more minutes. So 5 more minutes to complete the project, okay?
Okay.
I'm going to go visit another room.
God will. Thank you. We will come back.
Analysis.
Hello.
Hi. Hello.
How is it going here? Are there any questions, concerns, problems?
So one problem is
yes.
and the other problem is we are not sure about the evaluation. What the evaluation is you are talking about?
So when the students
Kathleen,
submit...
also are we discussing the example? I'm sorry for interruption.
Yeah.
So we have the slides, we have the example of the student.
So what group am I in right now? Group 5? So you have the curricular adaptation units. Yeah. So your job is basically when we come back, you're gonna tell the other people, okay, what assignment did you look at together? What were its pros and cons? So you're gonna look at the instructions and the student work example. I think in your slideshow, you had instructions, a template that I gave students. So saying, this is how you should do this. And then you had one example. So you're gonna tell the class what you saw, and then what were its pros and cons, and how might you adapt this to other contexts. In terms of evaluation, that question is about how did I as a teacher structure my feedback? Like, what were the guidelines? What was I evaluating them on whether their grammar was correct, or on whether they effectively communicated, whether they cited a certain number of sources? What was the grading system?
Okay.
Does that answer your questions?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. You've got about 3 minutes left. So I'm going to go and check in on the other groups, and I will see you in a couple of minutes.
Say, for example, the positive ones and hello. Hi, Catherine.
Hello. Is everything okay here?
Yes. So far, so good. Yes.
Fine. Yeah.
Awesome. You've got about 2 more minutes, so I'm going away.
Okay. Thank you. Mr. Sadiq, I think you said you will report the positive.
We are so sorry.
What happened?
I don't know. We couldn't figure out anything. It was just a mess for us.
Okay,
we didn't know where to look. We were looking here and there. It were too many slides, so it was something new for us to see the syllabus of other universities, and just so.
Oh, interesting.
No notes, nothing to talk about. So.
That's okay. That's okay. So I think group 5 also looked at the same assignment. So they can present and we can talk about that together. Yeah, each assignment had 2 groups focusing on it. But I'd love to hear more. We don't have time right now. I'd love to hear more about, actually, maybe we should take a minute to talk about that now. So what exactly was challenging about that, Maria? Was it that the format was new?
The task itself wasn't that clear for us, like where we should look and what we should find, and there were too many things to get open, to get too many slides, so that confused me personally and my friends as well. So we didn't know what to do, where to start, and we asked you. You helped us a little bit, but then still.
So I'm sorry, there were so many ramifications, you know.
Yeah. No, I'm sorry that was so challenging. So
we hope that we share the experience of other groups so that we can learn from a hard lesson from this.
Yeah. All right. So, okay, let's go. I'm going to think about that, and let's go through the other groups' presentations. Did any of the other groups have issues collaborating on this assignment?
Sorry?
Yes, in the slide number 6, it is very, very small and I can't read it.
Oh. Yeah, which group were you in?
Group number 1.
Ah, okay. We can look at that together. So group number 1, actually, you are presenting first. So I'm going to ask you to go ahead. I'll share my screen. And if you need to show anything, you can go ahead and tell me. So group number one, you have the floor.
Okay, thank you. And I'd like to thank my colleagues, Hero, Zan, and Mohammed. We started reading the syllabus and it was good breaking through of the procedures, marking, and methods. But one thing that was missing is something of the students' rights, like the changing of the course or appeals, something related to the students' right. I think I saw this missing from the syllabus. And when we go through these slides, we see that in relation to the group works, the submitting of the materials by 8 p.m. is flexible. So this is thumb up for this one, it's plus. And the meaningful responses, it's a good technique, as Mohammed said. While when we discuss how do the module looks in the LMS, it's too summarized, to be honest, and it needs more detail to understand the module. And for the student responses, the fonts was too small, to be honest. We could not read the photo that you presented in the slides. For the examples of the peer review response, we could not understand whether this is a peer review students or a peer review teacher. We know that the peer review is presented by the teacher rather than the students, while Mohammed said this is a peer review students rather than the teacher. Anyway, this should be given, another title maybe. And we see that there is should be broken to the bullet points, okay, rather than a paragraph should be in bullet points. And the rubric is, to be honest, was ambiguous, as Hero and Huzan said. We could not understand what do you mean by the 3 to 4 and the average. What's 3 to 4? You mean it's 3 to 4 between 1 and 10 or 1 and 5? And we could not understand why do we have zeros in all sources are documented and submitted documented is clearly written. So you've given 1 in the strong column and you have given 0 and 0 in the weak and average. We could not understand the rubric for the students. And finally, how this is adapted, we agree that this module could be hardly adapted in our universities because we don't have Blackboard or an online or official module for the universities, but we can have something tentative like using emails, Google Classroom, so on and so forth. The positive critique is that the time management of the syllabus presented is interesting. And sorry, I should give the floor for Mohammed in my group to talk about the positive and negative critique.
Yep, and Captain, I'd like to just add one more point about the syllabus. I think it's included eight books, Captain. I think this is too much for the students. As far as for the responses is concerned, I think it will help students to have a critical mind, okay, a critical thinking, and this will improve and develop their language and language skills, language acquisition. I would also one negative pointer in this course. I think it will be helpful if you include Walt Whitman in the course, since you are teaching multi or sociocultural, since you follow sociocultural model in your course. Catherine, do you hear me?
Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
So I think we're running out of time for now, and we'll move to group 2. Now, remember, you're presenting to the other groups who haven't seen the assignment. So what you need to do first is tell the other groups, what was this assignment about? So let's move to group 2, who had the same assignment. And can you explain, oh no, wait, shoot. I think
group 2 is the vanished group.
Group 2 is the vanished group. Hayam, do you have any summaries from your group's critique of this?
Actually, I took some notes, but I don't know if I'm going to present them orally only, if you don't mind.
That's fine, yeah.
Okay. Okay, first of all, the rubric, there is a good rubric, which is a good way of evaluation. And the instructions were very clear. And Hadi said that he has already used this design and this assignment with his students when he designed a course on Canva. And he already added the aim of this assignment is to get the students in an active discussion. A positive the positive thing is that you provided your students with a good feedback and detailed feedback, which is something very encouraging. And the tools were missing, the tools of communications. So how can the students communicate with each others? So that's it.
Great, thank you, Chaim, thank you. So just to backtrack for people who didn't see this, this activity was an online discussion. So it's due when, I think, by Wednesday at 8, the students have to complete readings. By Wednesday at 8, they have to respond on Google Classroom, or in this case, ELC. They write their response. And then by Friday, they're required to respond to 2 of their classmates. So just as you present the others, give an overview first of, okay, what are the students, what is the assignment? Awesome, let's move on to group 3. Group 3.
Yes, please.
Okay, I'm going to ask you to keep this under 2 minutes, just for the sake of time management. I'm sorry.
Well, it's okay. It's okay. For group 3, we have the activity multimodal artifact. This activity requires just to present the assignment of 2 forms. One is as a document. The other is just like a picture or a sound or even a video. And for this, we move to, point number 2, which is related to how is it to be evaluated. Students are required just to have a document of 1 page, and then just to have another, let me say, mode, that is a picture or a sound. Okay, but we need just to know, the evaluation related to grading, or even just to what is required. We went back to the, let me say, to the summary of the course itself, and we found 2 things, that is grading and evaluation, and the requirements of the let me say, the activity. For grading, we discovered that we have something about having a gallery for the other form of the document, and the document should be entitled of certain, let me say, topic, and the gallery will be competed by different students. The best one will take 3 marks, just like this. By the way, we didn't cover all the points. We have only the positive evaluation. That is, it's a good idea just to represent or picturize ideas rather than just to have it as a written form. And for adaptation, I believe that it is possible just to follow this example in our setting, in our, let me say, teaching environment. And thanks a lot.
Thank you so much. All right, maybe group 4. We didn't hear from group 3 a critique of this one. Group 4, what did you have? You had the same assignment. Who's in group 4? Wafa, Jian, Ala, and Hussein Gumar.
Sorry. I think Wafa has to present the points if she couldn't able, I can present it. Shall I?
Yes, please, go ahead.
Okay. Actually, in my group, we have some positive and negative points, like totally we do agree on the the whole, course if it is for the small groups, but in Iraq, we have totally different situation, like we don't have extra sources. We have to follow the ministry rules, and we don't have international students. Even the interaction between the student and the teacher are totally different. And as you know, we have difficult situation generally, but we do agree on this course and the what group is this?
Types of rubric.
Yes, the rubric. Yes, yes, yes. The rubric is
for interruption, but we have discussed more than one point.
Yes.
Depending on syllabus, on teachers, student, we have different varieties in these three things. Actually,
Yes.
we have mentioned a positive point that is concerned with the rubric,
Yes.
actually we have different student. I mean, from different as a culture. In America, there is a variety international student. Meanwhile, in Iraq, we have just one culture. Maybe in Kurdistan, there is mixed from Syria, Turkish, and from other cities like Suleimania, Erbil, or whatever. So there is a difference between north and south of Iraq. This is a point. We have mentioned more than one point.
Great.
Yes.
So yeah, so maybe the context is different. So this activity would have to be adapted. Thank you so much for sharing. I'm going to move
Thank
on
you.
to group 5 so we don't run out of time. Group 5 is Wafa, Ban, Adnan, and Hakar. And you analyzed a different assignment. This was the curricular adaptation unit. Who's presenting for group 5?
Yeah, I guess it's me. I'll do that. Okay, thank you. Actually, ours was about curriculum adaptation projects. Actually, this project was a kind of preparing a mini unit based on 5 pre-made lessons, actually, so that you've done, and the students maybe are doing this. I guess this one is a kind of that's what we said. However, maybe we say that what is a little bit more demanding to the students is that they are going to link each part to the standards. So which standard, instead of making a 5 disconnected units, they are going to make one unit, but the unit is somehow connected and including the standards, including the opening and closing, and also maybe adaptations and so on. So actually we saw that the instructions are very clear. So this can be a good positive one. And the objectives are also clear. That's what we said. And for the evaluations, actually, we were not sure. And also we asked you, so maybe somehow here the presentation, so the needs actually, what the students need to do. And maybe one, actually it's not easy to see something or watch something with a critical eye. So it was not easy for us to find something like that. But to us, that's what we discussed. Maybe your students were native speakers of English language, but ours are not. So maybe for our students, a little bit too demanding to do all of these tasks in a kind of project like this adaptation process. So it may be not that much easy. So if we want to adapt this project to our students, we have to make some simplifications actually. That's what we, yeah.
Well, thank you so much. And we're about to be out of time. So group 6, in a way, it's serendipitous that you got a little lost and were unable to present this. I hope that after seeing the other presentations, it's a little more clear of what the expectations were. So the expectations are to view assignments and then share A, what the assignment was with everybody else, and then B, your own critical eye, your critique, what worked, what maybe didn't work, and what would work or not work in your own context, what can you adapt? So a critique that I heard across all of your presentations was that, of course, your context is really different from my teaching context, which is why next week I have some homework for you. You are going to present your own online lesson or tools. So if you look at the Google Classroom, at the very top, it says homework. This is where you can submit the homework. It's also where you can read the guidelines for the homework. So you saw me make Google slideshows about my presentation. You are going to make a Google slideshow presentation presenting 1 to 3 online activities that you have used or would like to use with your own courses. You should be able to present your activities in under 10 minutes. You can include activities that went well and you'd like to share with your group, or activities that didn't go well that you'd like some help with. Don't share a video, make a slideshow. You can include screenshots of videos or your students' work in your slideshow if you would like to, but don't include your students' names or faces unless you have their permission. You're going to submit this here before we meet next Friday by writing your name in the first column and pasting the link to your slideshow in a second column. Coming back to Google Classroom, if you've never made a Google slideshow before, in today's activities, I have this link, how to make a Google slideshow.
Welcome to my tutorial on Google Slides.
Yeah, we're not going to watch it right now. This is a 13-minute video that will basically tell you everything that you could possibly want to know about making slides. But very quickly to show you, when you come to your Google Drive, if you come up here, go down to slides, you can start a new one by pressing blank, and then you can type in it. To start a new slide, press the plus. And then at the end, and this is very important, before you share the link, you're going to come up here to share. Oops, you're going to name your document. And you're going to change it to anyone with the link can view. Anyone with the link can view, and then copy the link. Come back to classwork, to the homework, to the homework. Come down here, Kathleen 2, paste your link. So between now and next class, I would love it if you could take some time to think about what online activities would be useful for you to share with the group. They might be activities that you want some help with, or they might be activities that you think really well in the Iraqi context and you want to share with your fellow members. We are 1 minute over time now, so I'm going to let you go if you need to, but I am happy to stay for about 10 minutes or so if anyone has questions. So thank you so much. I appreciate your efforts and your patience and your really engaged critiques of the lessons that I shared with you. And I will see you next week, unless you would like to stay and talk to me about these projects.
Thank you, Kathleen.
Thank you, Dr. Catherine.
Thank you, Kathleen.
Thank you.
Thank you, Catherine.
Well, Catherine, if you don't mind. Well, I have two things. First of all, it's about the syllabus that you presented today for evaluation and criticism. You know, if we talk about the Iraqi, let me say, syllabuses and even the textbook or even
well, hold on, Ahmed. I'm going to interrupt you just for a second to make sure that the other people here don't have questions about what they need to do before next week, and then I'm happy to talk to you about the syllabus.
It's okay.
About the work that we just did.
Excuse me, Kathleen.
Yes, hi, Em.
Okay, I'm on maternity leave right now because, you know, I'm taking care of my son. So I don't have classes right now. I don't have students. So is it okay to present? I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Okay. Okay. Is it okay to present what I need or what I will to present for them in the future? Or
Yes.
Okay.
Great question. Yeah. If you're not teaching right now, try to design something that you think you might want to do in the future, and then you can share that. Yes.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Okay. Any other questions about this assignment for next week before we talk about other like general thoughts and comments?
Dr. Catherine.
Yes.
Any topic, anything that I write our course in the now. You can add it?
Any topic you can choose. And I suggest that you choose based on either something you want help with from your colleagues, because this is your opportunity to say, look, I did this in my course and it didn't go well. Can you help me?
Yes.
Or something that went really well that you would like to share with the other people here so that they can borrow it and use it in their own context. You could say, I did this. And look at my students' examples, look at my instructions. It went really well. Maybe you can try it.
Because in our college, use the model, not another things. I record my sound and send the students. After that, I ask them if you have any question, ask me. Also, I have another activity. For example, Kahoot. I use the Kahoot for the review of the last unit, every last unit. It is also I use the Edmodo.
Great. So that will be really interesting for me. That Moodle is one of the few learning management systems that I haven't used at all. So that sounds great. Maybe you can take some screenshots or pictures, you know, of what you ask the students to do, put them in the slides, and then explain them. That will be very interesting. And you want to keep it under 10 minutes. So consider maybe 1 to 3 things from your course that you can share.
Limited the slide or not limited? The only limited that times, right?
Yeah, the only limit is on time. You can have as many slides as you want. Probably not more than 10 slides though.
Okay. I know. I did send our group, but now it is easy for this video. It is very useful.
Great. All right. Thank you.
Thank you for
other,
you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Any other questions about what you need to do for next week?
Yes, Kathleen.
Yes, Mohammed.
Thank you so much, Kathleen. Kathleen, could you tell me a little bit about, you know, the core of the task that we should we should assume next week? And this is first. And you know, Kathleen, we currently teach the Headway series that have already been, you know, the Minister of Iraqi Minister of Higher Education has directed all Iraqi universities to adopt the Headway series. I think if you have learned about this or not.
Yeah, I used to teach from Headway actually a long time ago. Yeah,
I feel that maybe it's my own personal viewpoint. It's not. It's a little bit unfriendly. Maybe there might be other you know, series that seem friendlier.
So so let me ask you, Mohammed, are you teaching with Headway online?
I taught last year, and I am going to teach in the next course. You know,
and will that course be online or in person?
I think it's going to be online.
Okay, so I think what you should do is for next week, you're going to prepare a presentation for your colleagues about, this is what I'm teaching. I'm using the Headway series. I have to do it online. And then you're going to show in your presentation, how are you going to do that online?
Oh,
So
I see.
you might take some pictures of the book, or you might take some pictures of the directions that you're going to give to your students.
Yeah.
You might say, so the core of the task is, what are you doing online with your students? Share that with the group in a Google
Beautiful.
Slide presentation. But Mohammed, have you used Google Slides before?
No.
Okay, so
Yes.
so I strongly recommend, you should be able to see my screen right now, I think, but it was, can you see my
Yes, yeah,
screen?
I see. I can see it.
Are you looking at my email?
Yes.
Okay.
But I'm gonna email you later. Okay.
Yeah, email me later as well, but just for
To tell
everybody.
you something, some business, you know.
I have to find the classroom again really quickly. Okay, ELT specialist. Okay, so when we come into the classroom, if we press classwork and come down here to March 26th and 27th,
yes,
I strongly recommend viewing this video.
Welcome to my tutorial on Google Slide.
This one pretty much gives an overview from the very beginning to the end of how to present your work in Google Slides.
beautiful.
Okay.
But,
and yes, email me if you
email,
have any questions.
I need to email you later, today or tomorrow, to tell you some business, you know.
Okay. Perfect. Thank you. All right. Any other questions about what we're doing next week?
Yes.
Ahmed, Fahid, yes.
My question like that, I'm already, we use the model and I teach the listen and speaking. So how could I make or manage the Google slide, especially when there is a, there is a listening and there is speaking for student, it is more difficult to show.
Yeah, that's true. So your job when you make the presentation is to try to make that clear to us. So I don't know, do you have any video recordings of the work you do with your students online?
I have good idea. I'm going to do one thing like that. I give the slideshow and I'm doing in this slideshow, we are going to do something and there and my teacher doing that. And after 10 minutes, like they listen and they repeated me again and give me something else. And they ask him, I'm going that way because it is easy to explain. That's what I'm at.
Yeah, that sounds like a good plan to me. If you have any images or videos of your
class, it's already available.
Together,
it's already available there.
Yeah, you could take a picture here and then maybe write a description here and explain it. Or, you can write in text. First,
I see.
I speak and second, they repeat. But I think it would be nice if we had some images or some images as well, so that we're not just
I do my best.
Awesome. I appreciate that. That's a great question.
Okay,
Any other questions about what we need to do for next week?
Thank you.
All right, Ahmed Hamza.
Yes. Well, I wonder whether I do appreciate, the time that you are going to have for my own comments. What I want just to say that for ELT specialization in Iraq, there are, let me say, so many things just to tell. First of all, this specialization, if I say, is humiliated. Well, what does this mean? It means that there is some sort of a priority of other specialization, just like linguistics and literature. And with this, what we suffer, by the way, this is my specialization, I'm ELT, okay? What we suffer is we don't have, let me say, more opportunities, more chances just to represent this, this field of study. That is, we don't have such courses just like the course that you have, presented here in our session. In the way that, methods of teaching generally is to be very limited in, during the, let me say, for example, the undergraduate stage, and if we talk about English department, and we don't have this specialization as something specific in let me say, in universities. I mean, you cannot find let me say, ELT specialization as a distinctive department. And that's why we don't have different courses, only one course to be given, in a very limited time. And that's why we don't have diversity of let me say, of courses, and diversity of the topics that are to be tackled. And you see the misery that we graduate teachers, and they don't know what teaching is. What we have, it's only just to emphasize things that are related to linguistics, things that are related to literature, okay? But very limited courses for ELT. And that's why you see, when you presented your own, course, that is language and culture, and how students can respond on these things. Believe me, if I say, how can I criticize something that I cannot practice? You see, we tried our best just to do, things generally, without going deeper in details with these things. But you see, I regret such, let me say, indifference, or let me say, carelessness of the government of this important specialization. What we say about these things is just it's not only just to say, but we need some sort of cooperation. As we have this program, we need some sort of cooperation in the way that your universities and American universities with the, let me say, with the universities of Iraq, just to have some sort of innovation of the courses, and let me say the representation of this field, or let me say the emphasis of the importance of this field, just to have its own path and its own way, onward.
I think that those are really good points. And I will say that I think the fact that you and your 29 colleagues who were nominated for this program means that your government and your country are looking for you to take on that leadership role and shape the curriculum of TESOL in Iraq as it goes forward. So thank you very much for sharing your comments. Those are very, very insightful, very interesting to me. And for now, I have to sign off. Today is the TESOL International Convention, and I have to give a presentation in a half an hour for TESOL. So I
do appreciate your own patience, by the way, because I talk too much, but you see, and you see, thanks so much. And I wouldn't like just to have much time with you. Thanks so much. I do appreciate your own comments. Thanks.
All right. Thank you all. And I will see you next week. Goodbye.
Okay. See you next week.
Bye-bye.
Bye.